79,000 items worth $16 million. The only problem, they're all fake. Federal agents seized the counterfeit goods at a Laredo checkpoint. Eyewitness News border reporter Oscar Margain explains how these knockoffs are cutting into the bottom line of U.S. businesses.
Soccer balls, jerseys, caps, scarves.
Rene Gallegos makes a living by selling the latest in soccer apparel.
Jerseys right now.
Lately, making a living means barely making ends meet.
It's harder when you have products on the streets that they're called counterfeit or they're not authentic.
The sale of knockoffs has been a growing problem for Soccer Locker USA since it opened 10 years ago. Gallegos says some of these products can easily fool anyone with an untrained eye.
10 to 15 visits each month of people comparing and complaining about counterfeit merchandise.
An issue authorities work to crack down on, like this seizure on Thursday by customs agents working at the busiest inland port of entry in Laredo, Texas. 275 boxes with everything from electronics to apparel, all made in China and headed to Mexico.
These transnational criminal organizations are making money and even laundering money through these systems, and ultimately it's a danger to our financial systems in the U.S.
As you can see, the difference between both colors lines first.
The devil is in the details. Only when compared to an original are the differences noticeable. If you put them side by side, this one's longer. However, this is a medium, and this one is a large, but somehow this one's shorter. With this number of pirated items in circulation at stores and online, it's no wonder business owners like Gallegos are feeling the pinch.
It hurts all the people behind us, people that they work on sales, they work on design, they work on everything. It helps a lot of people and hurts a lot of families as well.
In McAllen, near the Texas-Mexico border, I'm Oscar Margain reporting.